therefore, reign as kings in your mortal body, causing you to be in subjection to its cravings. Sin in this verse is a capital S, so that it presents it as a person. There's a persona. If it's capitalized, it's all of a sudden a person and not the bad things you do. Okay, so now let not sin, the person of sin, reign as king in your mortal body. Wow! So now, I mean, you know, we have a physical existence, which according to the 6th chapter of Romans, used to be under the control of another person. Before salvation, you thought it was you. You thought you were in control. But really what's revealed here, oh, it's ugly. You were controlled by another entity, the person of sin. And part of his deception and illusion is to make you feel, no, it's me. It's me. I'm what? I'm independent. I can do what I want. Leave me alone. I'm independent. What is that? Where did that come from? It's Satan's nature manifested in you. And yet you're thinking, hey, I have a right to do my own thing.
Whoa, come on now.
And now that's what Christ altered for you. Your infestation of sin was so thorough, and every cell of your being was so thoroughly infested that you were clueless. And yet that's what Jesus Christ cleansed. And he washed you with his blood. A contamination of the person of sin. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. I remember. Ooh. Sin can't tell you how to live. After all, you're not living under that old tyranny any longer. You're living in the freedom of God. That's the Message Bible. Therefore, do not let sin reign in your mortal body so that you obey its desires. Do not let sin, therefore, rule as king in your mortal body to make you yield to its cravings and be subject to its lusts and evil passions. I remember when I felt that my connection, an infestation of sin in me before I was saved. I mean, I realized I was infested. I mean, it was way more than I have ever imagined. My connection with the devil and the sin, and it was just like you're not your own. He owned you. You were his slave, and you didn't know it. And at the same moment, realizing what Christ did when he came and picked you up, he rescued you from that slavery. He washed you with his blood. You should feel clean. You should feel new. Now, that's your salvation. And on top of that, he gives you his Spirit. Baptizes you thoroughly, inside and out, immersed in the spirit realm, immersed with his life, able to live with him in unbroken fellowship, because he claimed you. I mean, Paul is laboring over and over and over. He is repeating. He's laboring, he's laboring, he's laboring to bring this truth. This is 13. You must dedicate yourself to God as men who have been brought from death to life. But like men rescued from certain death, put yourself in God's hands as weapons of good for His own purposes. That's J.B. Phillips. Living letters. Do not let any part of your bodies become tools of wickedness to be used for sinning. But give yourselves completely to God, every part of you, for you are back from death, and you want to be tools in the hands of God. Do not offer any part of yourself to sin as a weapon of unrighteousness, but as those who are alive from the dead, offer yourself to God, and all the parts of yourself to God as weapons for righteousness. You must not let any part of your body turn into an unholy weapon fighting on the side of sin. You should instead offer yourself to God and consider yourself dead men brought back to life. That's the Jerusalem Bible. How are we doing on time? How much more?
We got 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay. Do not offer any part of your bodies to sin. Capital S. You will have to make a conscious offer of your body to the person of sin for you to live in sin anymore. That's the reality of the cross. That's the reality of the cross. It's not the other way around.
Uh-oh.
Hey! Hey! That's the 20th century New Testament. Consider yourself surrendered to the one who loves you. I mean, how difficult is that? Are you choosing? Are you choosing? Are you choosing? Or are you melting like butter on hot corn, as my husband says? Oh yeah, try to resist. Just try to resist. Hey! I'm not gonna melt. For sin, now we're on to Romans 6:14, Weymouth. For sin, capital S, shall not lord over you, since you are not subjects of law, but of grace. Sin never need again be your master. From now, you are no longer tied to the law, where sin enslaves you, but you are free under God's favor and mercy. Sin will not have authority over you because you are not under legalism, but under grace. Here's another 20th century. For sin, capital S, shall not have power over you. You are living under the reign, not of law, but of mercy. Ah, then, my opponents will cry, we may safely sin, since we're not under the uncompromising rule of law, but under the lenient scepter of grace. No. Paul says, out upon these suggestions. That's Arthur S. Way. Shall we sin and not worry about it? For our salvation does not depend on keeping a law, but on receiving God's grace. Paul says, of course not. Away with such a thought. Shall we, here's Wiest. Shall we sin occasionally? Because we are not under the law, but we're under grace. Away with the thought. Wow. You see, none of these things, that you've heard or you're racing through your minds they're not new. These are old. This revelation is so unbelievably radical and powerful and altogether not from a human mind and a human way of doing things that it offends everybody and their mother. Yeah. Everybody.
Woo! Seriously?
It is guaranteed to offend. And you've got to